So can we talk about a couple things that just came up with? Let's stay on that Miami thing because Silicon Valley elites are moving to Miami, but VCs told the mayor that a state law needs to change before they would relocate. So we talked about earlier companies from New York relocating to Miami, right? We talked about Goldman Sachs, Carl Icahn, some of those guys, right? And one of them moving to Palm Beach, the $41 billion hedge fund. What's his name?
Carl Icahn.
Paul Singer. No, Paul Singer. $41 billion moving his stuff to Palm Beach. But here's an issue with Miami. And Miami mayor, you've interviewed him before.
Mayor Francis Suarez.
Yep, the mayor of Miami spent at least part of the weekend on Twitter trying to convince Silicon Valley tech workers and investors to hang up their fleece vests and move to South Florida's growing tech hub. Tech's migration to Miami has been happening for a while now, while Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian making the move to South Florida a few years ago, but it's picked up steam as more people work from home, particularly during the pandemic. But even as tech investors depart from Miami, full-on migration hinges on the city's ability to attract top companies' talents. And candidates might not come as long as state allows companies to use non-compete agreements. A non-compete is part of an employment contract where the worker agrees they won't take a job at a competitor and start a rival business for some time after leaving a company. So there's an issue with that in Florida.
Yeah, of course.
For non-compete agreements.
Yeah, do they have that in Texas?
They in Texas, no, you're fine in Texas. Wow, yeah. But in California is an issue.
It's not an issue.
Non-compete,
right.
Non-compete is doesn't have a lot of weight in California.
In California,
no,
but it doesn't.
Miami,
Florida,
it's huge. Or in Florida, it's huge.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yes, that's the whole point of the story, right?
So these guys are talking about that's kind of hurting us, all this other stuff. So what do you know about it? I know you were just talking to his camp this morning.
I tried to get Mayor Francis Suarez on the phone this morning. He was busy, but I was speaking with his communications department. We can get him on when we'd like. Couple different things going on here. Number one was Miami was the number one top city for small business in 2019. So they've laid the groundwork for being very small business friendly, very entrepreneur friendly, low taxes, sunny weather, all that going on. Mayor Francis Suarez is leading the charge on this. For someone who's lived and worked in Miami, I can tell you the non-compete is a very big deal. Like I thought that there was sort of a universal thing, but this is a very Florida-centric policy apparently, and that's something that's going to have to be rectified if all these big wigs and Silicon Valley type people are considering moving to Florida, and specifically South Florida. No one's moving to the Panhandle. But in that tweet, I don't know if we want to pull that up, Kai, if you have that, he said, let's talk. Let's talk about this. So he's open to this. I mean, if there's somebody who is business-friendly, entrepreneurial-driven, and willing to wheel and deal and make business happen, it's this guy right here, Francis Suarez. Shout out to you, Francis. He said, how can I help? DM me. He's sliding his DM. I'd be happy to. DM me and we'll set it up. So I did not know that this was such a non-big deal in California. It is a big deal in Florida. Everyone who's considering moving jobs asks about a non-compete. But in California, I guess you can just kind of come and go as you please. So we'll see what they can do.
I read some of this thread. It's interesting. He really does interact with these tech people in Silicon Valley. A couple things. Number one, if you're super rich, at some point you want to have some fun. There is no fun to be had in Silicon Valley. These guys want to get the hell out of there. They want the hot chicks. They want to have fun. I think that drives a lot of this. I think they're bored. The other thing is, how can not some of these engineers and really smart tech people in Silicon Valley be a little bit more on the conservative side than these radical lefts that are running the social media giants out there? I mean, at some point, you can't agree with everything that company does, and you want a fresh start somewhere else. Third thing is, if there is a serious issue with the non-compete in Florida, Ron DeSantis will fix it. I mean, that guy's a smart governor. He's 5 steps ahead of everybody else. If it means more business for the state of Florida, and in this case, a lot more and a lot more revenue, he'll change it. Watch for that to be changed in a couple of years.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. By the way, he's a guy that's also wanting to run in the future. He's a guy that's very ambitious to want to run for office.
Yeah, and he's already said, I will never do a lockdown. He's already put forth legislation that will make it a huge felony to riot anywhere in Florida as well. So
look what's happening right now. I've been saying this now for a while. If California and Texas had a baby, the baby's name would be what? Florida. It's that simple. You take the best of California, you take the best of Texas, you combine it together, you got Florida. If I was the governor of Florida, I would out-recruit the governor of Texas like never before. If I was the governor of Florida, I would out-recruit. I'm surprised that Florida doesn't out-recruit Texas. I am so surprised that Florida doesn't out-recruit Texas to get the businesses to move to Florida. They have more to offer than Texas does. When you think, I know a lot of people disagree with this, but between those two states, you got the top two states competing. Nevada's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Nevada's kind of tough to be recruiting to Nevada. I get that. It's a good place to be. A lot of Californians are going there. But I think Florida is going to be, especially with what's going on right now, a lot of these guys going for, because typically California, when they leave, they go where? They go Nevada or they go to Texas.
Yep.
New York
Or
typically
Arizona.
comes.
Sure, exactly.
Or Arizona. But now Ohanians going from Silicon Valley. Think about where Silicon Valley is, all the way to the complete corner. That's where they're going. They're changing corners from one end to the other.
Welcome to the East Coast, gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the East Coast.
Do you think these guys are smart. DeSantis is smart, so is Abbott. These are smart governors that know what they're doing. Do you think there's a little bit of them that are thinking, if I recruit too much, it could flip my state a little bit? I mean, if you look at Arizona, the influx of Californians into Arizona has had an impact on how that state votes.
But that's a different recruiting. That's a different recruiting than it is for recruiting like Nevada and recruiting like I was thinking about going to Arizona for a long time. So I went to Phoenix, okay. We went and looked at homes in Phoenix. There was a place, I don't know what it's called. It's a
Paradise Valley.
Paradise Valley. I talked to you about it, right?
No, but I knew that's where you would be.
Community.
That's the only place you'd be.
We went to this place, and by the way, it's like a beautiful place. You go to this community, you're going to get a home for like $4 million, okay? But you get the home for $4 million. They go pick up your groceries for you. You simply call the concierge. You live in a community. They go pick up your groceries for you. They have a spa in the community. They have massages in the community. They have everything in the community. And then you have your own house, gated community, gated house in a gated community. The place was beautiful. And then I came back and said, why would I go to Phoenix? What for? What am I going to go there for? If I'm a golfer, I get it. If I got someone, I get it. But if I have a choice between them and Nevada, why would I go Phoenix over going to Nevada? I'm not going to have to pay the taxes if I go to Nevada. So what Phoenix is attracting is different than what Nevada is attracting. Phoenix is attracting middle America because it's cheaper to go there. Let me go there. What Nevada attracted is business owners. By the way, the whole Tony Hsieh story, like Zappos went there, and his move was to move Zappos to headquarters being there, and a lot of other businesses moved to Nevada because of taxes. This is different. Phoenix is very different than Nevada, Texas, and Florida.
Quick shout out. Chris Puckett donated $5. He says, I've worked for Google, Facebook, and Yahoo. Couldn't have done that with a ridiculous non-compete. Silicon Valley would not exist without this. So
to eliminate the non-compete.
Exactly. Yeah. He's saying it wouldn't happen.
Those governors have to be like big-time football coaches, the way they recruit. Man, just all-out warfare. Just go for it.
Good analogy. I actually agree with Tom. You've used the word recruit. I mean, that's what you do in your business. But I've never really heard governors recruiting until I started, hearing you say it so often.
I was in the state of California.
Yeah,
Rick Perry was coming to California recruiting businesses. Rick Perry got on the radio saying, if you run a business in the state of California and you're sick of the politics, you're sick of the regulation, you're sick of the taxes, call me at this number.
Years
Did
ago.
that really trigger it for you?
Are you kidding? Well, then we met with him.
Yeah.
We sat down with Perry. He took us to a Rangers game. We spent a whole day with him. We spent time with him and Nolan Ryan and Don Nelson, Don Nelson's son, Donnie Nelson. Yeah, and we sat in the box. And Perry sat down with my wife, Jen, and talked to him. And Nolan Ryan, Jennifer used to play softball with Nolan Ryan's daughter. So next thing you know, we're sitting there having a conversation together. Then we met with Mayor Masso of Frisco, who was the Frisco is the fastest growing city in America. It was a 3-term mayor. I think he was there for like 8 or 12 years, crushing it. 9 years.
There, right? Cowboys have their facility.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then PGA moved to Frisco, by the way. PGA headquarters is officially in Frisco. And then we're like, wait a minute, this guy's and then when you come here to visit Texas, you should have seen how they treated you. They got gifts for our kids. They knew our kids' names. Every single thing was detailed. The way they recruited us to the state of Texas. It was beautifully done. I think Florida's missing an opportunity. I don't know if Florida wants all the businesses to go there. But if they did, Florida should have 10 more Fortune 500 headquarters over there than they do right now.
Why would you say that Florida wouldn't want the business?
I don't know. It's a purple state. Why wouldn't you want more people to want to go there?
Yeah.
But I think the emphasis has got to be on recruiting talent. By the way, you know why Florida would also be a great – here's what I would focus on if I was a governor of Florida. I would focus on businesses, Fortune 500 businesses that do a lot of business with Europe and international.
Well, Latin America. That's the gateway to Latin America as well.
But what I'm saying is Europe.
Specifically.
There's a big difference between being in Dallas to go to London
Yes.
than it is to go from Fort Lauderdale to go to London.
Right.
That's why New York City, you go to where? London, boom, easy flight, right? LaGuardia or any of those airports, you're going over there, okay? Florida has that opportunity. Those types of Fortune 500 companies, I'm moving to Florida. Easy. Boom, take a flight, you're in Europe. Why wouldn't you do that? So, anyways, I think Florida's got a big opportunity for recruiting if they capitalize on it, but we'll see what's going to happen.
Pat, here's an idea. We got to look into this Florida thing.
Florida what?
We got to look into Florida. It sounds like a nice place to
As
maybe.
a possibility of moving to Florida?
Yeah, we got to look into that.
I would consider it very, very seriously.
Yeah, I
considering
think we should
move
look
to
into
Florida.
it. I got to contact.
I know the challenge with you is, the one challenge we have with you is, we were talking about this weekend. Adam, for whatever reason, is in love with the nightclubs in Addison. Adam is like,
the bottled blonde and the dirty brunette.
I cannot believe
the gecko. It's all about the gecko.
Weddings. You guys went to weddings this weekend at the Gecko.
Shout out to the Cafe Gecko. And
you know where there probably is some good nightlife in
Addison?
Yeah. At the Millionaire Club or something, when some of these private jets land, that's where you need to be partying.
No, you can see me at a bodega or Club Live in Miami. That's about it.
All right, so
don't you think there's an age limit when you no longer want to go to nightclubs? I've hit it.
Tom, you hit that like 15 years ago, bro.
Well, I'm older than you, so I probably did hit it 15 years ago. Where the thought of going to a nightclub is just like too much work.
Adam's the other way around. The thought of not going to the nightclub is miserable.
If I don't get to a nightclub in the next 10
Adam's
minutes,
here 7 days a week. He's at a nightclub.
Freak out. I'm going to freak out.
Adam just likes the idea of walking up with that gate, the velvet rope opening for him.
Did you say walking in with the Hungarian? What
No, he needs a special code word to get into those parties.
Hey, you know how if you're South Beach royalty, if you could walk up and you could be like, hey, look at these 25 Hungarian guys. They're with me. They're gonna come.
Adam came to me.
Can they come in the club? If you can get a bunch of dudes in the club.
Adam asked me if you spell orgy with a Y or an IE. I had to correct him on that. He wasn't sure.
But Tom knew. Tom knew.
I'm a writer.
Tom tried to set me up, buddy. You wrote that story, all right.
All right.